Here we are at my favourite local woodland, a place I can frequent whenever I like. That's very important to me, to have this place. It's amazing. I've just finished work, the sound of the traffic in the background, and in here, slowly the noise of the day disappears as the trees come alive with the sound of birds, squirrel and other creatures. The slow, quiet murmur of the limbs of the trees creaking and moving as the sun starts to set. Well, again, all poetic, but this video you're about to watch is 2 parts. It was a privilege to be asked and to be involved in the making of a film. I say film because it's cinematic, it's got real meaning, and it's about me. I was interviewed and filmed by Jay Gilmore and Josh Carrick. I've never ever had anything like this ever done, and it was profound. I have so much respect for their skills and an honour to have been asked to be a part of this project that Jay and Josh are doing. The video film is called A Path Less Travelled. I don't think I'll ever think that anyone wants to watch me, yet you do. I don't ever think anyone's interested in what I'm doing, but yet you do. And then to have this video made by Josh and Jay, yeah, makes it all real. It changes everything. But I hope you enjoy my take on it, the little vlog, what's gonna roll in a couple of minutes. But for now, I just want to say, here we are in my temple. Here we are in my place of worship. So come along and join me on this journey as we head off into a little unknown woodland in the Lake District to follow the path less travelled. Well, we're starting today inside the van because it is very wet, but it is the best kind of wet because we've got that very misty fine rain that's going to define the day, I think. I'm being quiet because there's a few vans that have been staying over for the night. And I've just rocked up. I didn't kip over last night. It's looking good, very good. But we're starting off on a quiet spot in and around Rydal. And yeah, it's a location that I come to quite a lot because it just feels very chilled. And I'm the one making the noise this morning. So we've got a van here, a van over there, and roof tent. It's quite cool. Very bright day back home, and then heading into Cumbria, the mist and the fog has descended, so I'm really excited. So well, hello and welcome to another video. I'm trying to be all cool and sophisticated because today is very different. The idea was to come along and do a shoot in this woods today based on ego and how ego can affect your photography. In other words, to be open and ready to just let nature into thy brain. But I've got 2 blokes filming me. So this is very unnatural, I think. I don't know, we'll see in the edit. But for now, here's Jay and Josh. Look at that, get a bit of cinematic leg movement there. What a wonderful day today is. Not just because I'm amongst my friends, the trees, and some other friends that you've seen in and out of frame. But these friends here, I've just seen this composition. It's quite chaotic, but I love the tones, the colours, and the fact that we've got these fresh ferns as foreground. Looks beautiful. But today wanted to be about not having an ego, not letting you get in the way of your photography. And I think that's key to woodland photography, is not to let your brain interrupt the creative process and just feel your way around. And here we've got these diagonals, we've got these shapes. This might not work, but I don't care. If you start thinking this isn't right, or any negativity or any thoughts, it can really detract from your photography. Even for the full day, it can destroy a photo shoot or a vlog or whatever it is you guys go out with your cameras doing. If you let your mindset control what you're seeing and what you're doing by either too much confidence, lack of confidence, self-belief, overbelief, let nature do it for you. Don't think about anything, just clear your mind. Dead easy for me to do. So I'm gonna take this shot. SITHEE. We've literally walked 20 yards from the last composition, and this is quite cluttered. There's a lot of luminosity now with the spring, can I say, with the spring season. It feels like we've been hit round the back of the head with a bat. Spring's just bang, here we go, we're green. And this is just beautiful because of these just little delicate leaves, a cascade coming off these big birch, and they're framed by two birch further in the distance. And I just like it. There's no other reason why other than the shapes, the forms, and there's a little bit of chaos, and I love some chaos in some of my images. I like to try and make things as difficult as possible and then create sense from it in a visually aesthetic way. And right now, that's what this is doing. Probably won't make it in the end edit. This might get cut out, but that's the point. Is that the ego kicking in when I get home? I have to keep that in check. You have to keep yourself always asking yourself questions. Why? Why should I cut this bit out? Why is it not good enough? So I will keep it in. So we've got another chaotic scene, but I just like the way they all dance. There's a ballroom feel about this. We've got lines of texture coming in from the right and the left. There's a huge amount of colour. The bracken's dead on the floor, looks just enough to change from left to right the weight of the scene, if you like, the foreground weight of the bracken, and then we've got this repeating further on in the frame. I'm not sure whether it is a little bit too chaotic in the centre. The centre is crossing, lots of crossing lines. But we'll have a go. Again, remove the ego, embrace what you see, and don't put yourself down. Feel confident about a scene because you've seen it, you like it. Assess why you like it. Simplify it, frame it, and shoot. Hopefully I'm in frame, and hopefully I'm showing you in the right places, because this is quite a wide shot. I might do this 16 by 9 or some letterbox shape, because this scene here has so much, but there's three protagonists that sit in the middle. This grey elephant trunk-like tree is just standing prominent in the centre, and then we've got these wispy, beautiful decorative leaves just falling into the frame. So there's a few aspect ratios here, and again, what attracted me to this, we were over there with Josh and Jay, who were still filming me. I don't know why. It's like I'm in some kind of parallel universe at the moment. I'll show you. When I've finished jabbering, I'll just spin it round and show professionals at work, unlike me. So I'm gonna go for this as a 3-tree scene, and then the wider one. I'll stick it up at the end. I'm trying something different today, because I think the idea of ego fascinates me. I talk on camera, that takes a certain amount of confidence, I guess. But I'm talking to you, you're actually with me. I know most of you, first name terms. But if you like this and you like my channel, please consider hitting subscribe and like. I never say that. I wonder if that's an ego thing as well. But I guess if you don't watch, is there any point to me doing this? Yeah, it's cathartic. It feels like I'm creating something unique that's never been there before. I mean, I've brought it into the world. Is the ego involved in that statement? Yeah, you pick the bones out of that one. Right, come on. Look at this. Look at these two here. Professionals. This is what you call cinematography here. I haven't a clue what they're doing. They've just been following me around. I was going to ring the police at one point. So Jay and Josh are here to demonstrate some lenses that are cinematography lenses, cine lenses as they say. I forgot the name of them already. What are they called? Zine Samyangs. 35mm. I think he's had the 85 on, which is damn hard to shoot with and control. So I am fascinated what they're doing today, and I'll keep adding them in the video. And at the end, I'll send you to Josh and Jay's channels or places where they share their work, and you can go and have a look at the video. Oh, well, look at this for a scene. And again, this was spotted from quite a way back, looking in. So I'm using the focal length here to compress, but there's so much about this that I like. The decorative nature of it, the darkness of the bark, the wetness of the bark, the way it's leaning. So I'll just come out a bit, and there, that's the full scene, around 35mm. Maybe a little bit tighter on this iPhone, but I'm going to shoot just this area here in the middle, about there. If I'm going to move this over to the side a little as well, so if I just show you the full composition, there you go. That's something like what we're going to shoot, around about 100mm. And again, just spotting this and looking inward, focusing in on the details that interest you, that something that you see, it catches your eye, and then come in, simplify, and work the composition to give balance, or at least rhythm, texture. This is beautiful, love it. I'll pop the image up at the end. Quite the surprise coming up high here on this little plateau. It's full of mood today, as you can see. What I was talking about within the trees, but the atmosphere just hasn't quite permeated the canopy below. We've come up high because this is well worth just spending a few moments and taking it in. You know, one of the things that got me into photography, like really serious, was a prime lens f1.8 and 2 baby girls. Seeing the world through that lens and capturing them so innocent, those images are priceless, and for that situation creates something so magical and wonderful that it just, you really connect to it. You even get emotional yourself when you see the images.
There's so much to take in and so many shots to take.
I'm Mally Davis, and I am a photographer, graphic designer, podcaster, YouTuber and full-time dad. So what is the Mally brand? I'm a graphic designer. I've made brands for 25 years for different companies all over the world, really. And I'd say only till recently I've started asking the question of what am I doing? Why? Who am I in this? I got speaking to Sean Tucker when I did a talk for the Creative Festival in Scotland, and that was a real turning point in my creative outlook, if you like, and realising that I'm a communicator. I'd never thought of it like this, that I'm a communicator, and that I am good at it, I guess, at getting connection with people through the camera. So that's now something I'm leaning to and starting to consider if it is a brand or whatever. My granddad was an artist and a painter. My uncle did backgrounds for Danger Mouse and Cosgrove Hall. And I had these people around me from born till, you know, where I am now. These people always influenced me. For 40 years, I've been doing all kinds of creativity, not realising that photography was the one thing that I should have been doing. I went off to be a fine artist, I went off to be a graphic designer because I found that's the way I could make money. I could have a career as a graphic artist. But along the journey, along that way, I always had a camera. But I just like the way they all dance. I was left to roam free, and off I'd go into the Forest of Dean, which I mentioned that place because we went on holiday there for 12 years. And I could just go and do what I wanted. I got my first real camera, was a Fuji film camera. If I was outside anywhere, I'd take a camera with me. I would be with a camera. And then I'd have to say what made it happen more was the introduction of video and the idea of creating on YouTube, which came from going out again organically with a gentleman called Stephen McNally. We went to the Malham Lone Tree and around Malham, and I had an iPhone 8 Plus, so that time dates it for you, around 2018, I think. And that was it. I just got the bug. I've been talking about this on my vlog today about ego and not worrying too much about what you're doing or what you're photographing, but just hone in on the things that attract you. And that's what got me out. That's what gets me to go out with my camera, is the fact that I know I'll be excited when I see a composition or a situation or whatever happens in the weather or the landscape. And it doesn't matter, from blue skies to rain, storms, anything. It's always an opportunity to be creative. I hear so many people say, I haven't got the time. And then I hear people say to me, how do you get the time to do all that? And I guess it's just having the support of my wife, the support of my family, and talking. We talk to each other. I don't go out all the time, although it appears that I do. We have a lot of time, and I think it's how you use it. That's rock bottom of it, is how time is used. And I feel that you can do a lot more if you cut out the waste, if you change your attitude towards time itself. Ego couldn't be any bigger right now. There's two cameras pointing at me. There's two lovely gentlemen filming me. And I guess you've got to let go of all that. You've got to stop thinking you are something that you're not. For me, it's hard to describe. When you're in nature, nature provides what you need. Nature doesn't need to know that I've got a flash car or a nice camera. Nature doesn't care. If I took it all too serious, I'd probably be more successful, to be fair, in monetary terms, but I wouldn't be happy. I'm at my happiest either, well, I've got to say this, with the family, or out with my camera, or both at the same time. I'm orgasmic. But I mean, just to be in nature doesn't need an ego. Maybe YouTube does, maybe the video does, and it does give me a confidence. But do you know what? I'm not a confident person. I just say what I think and say what I feel and leave all that bragging behind. The fact that you've got this world of people out there now that I think watch YouTube more than telly. So YouTube's fascinating. I didn't start off with YouTube as a means of and still isn't, fame or fortune, or I just thought it was a great way to showcase my photography, a great way of marketing my photography. It's what a platform to get your photography out there to people who wouldn't necessarily ever see your creativity, and that's quite special. But do I really care about all of this? Again, back to don't take things that serious. I just do what I do and enjoy it, and don't think too much about it. There's a lot of people who I admire who aren't, say, famous or big names or whatever, because I think everyone's equal, and if something really connects with you and you get something from it, I think you should share it with others and let them have that moment of seeing something quite special that you think, I love it, so they're gonna love it, and pass it on and pass it on and pass it on, and it's free. Nature's the one thing that's ruled me and helped me and provided me comfort when there's no one else around and no one there. So then when you throw a video camera in that's who I am. What you're seeing is me out with the camera, just doing what I'm doing, and it's a stream of consciousness, just like the podcast. I love doing the in-between episodes on the podcast because I basically just talk rubbish for 25 minutes. I'm at a point now where I have something to give of value, and then I want to pass that on. So the workshop this year is a big one in Scotland. It's the biggest thing I've ever done in photography. I didn't do it as a conscious thought to think I can make money here. I did it as a means of I can make money, but I can also build on something that I think is as important as nature and going out, as I can create something that gives value and gives me back something. I get something from meeting people Seeing people get enthusiastic and just being in and go, oh wow, I can see that tree now, you know, it looks like Gladys Knight and the Pips, and they get the story, or this is a mournful scene of, or something you connect a story to, either the trees or the mountains or whatever, and being out with people and passing that on and seeing them light up, seeing people come alive with the photography. Giving people the fire under their arse to go out and be enthusiastic about photography without worrying too much if they get it wrong is just wonderful.
Well worth just spending a few moments and taking it. I'm gonna head back down now and have a chat